We're live. Be Better, episode 5-1. We told you guys we're going to do more of these. And look at us. We're doing more of them.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Trying to get in maybe 2 a month, Jacob. Maybe hit or miss, depending on our schedule and Jacob's traveling to Morocco schedule. But yeah, we're back at it. We are sponsored by nobody this year. I guess I haven't really reached out because we haven't been so super consistent. So we're brought to you by ourselves. Kind of like Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights. Just me.
Yes.
Just me. Except it would be we. Just we as in us. You and I.
We're just trying to be better, you know?
Yeah, we are. We figured to chop on here, maybe give everybody an update, see what's been going on since we opened the gym. It's kind of about the time we fell off of the podcast, right around there. It's about the time a lot of things fell off. The podcast fell off a little bit. Apparel with me fell off a little bit. It's just fucking Jim's busy, which is good. It kept us. I mean, it's not crazy busy, but it's busy enough to take both of our attention to it, which I mean, it needed. You know, we couldn't just hang out and do whatever we wanted and hope it ran well.
Did we ever even have an actual podcast about the gym? I don't remember.
I believe we did because
I mean, I'm sure we talked about it at some point.
I'm trying to look. We podcasted for like a month or two after, and then we just beating yourself, sucking your things, grieving. Yeah. Grow with Truth. Quentin was on. Well, maybe not. So I had a girl named Cheyenne on before our pause. We had Costa on, right? We had Quentin on.
Yep.
We had Nikki on.
Yep.
You know what, dude? We didn't. This is April, May. Quentin was on. That was probably right before we signed the lease. Costa maybe a little bit because that was June. Cheyenne was on. I talked about her, and then our newest coach came on, so that was January 9th. So yeah, no, we haven't. I lied. We didn't do shit after we opened the gym. We only did one podcast.
Episode 51, Be Better Barbell Club.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, if you look at our main page, BeBetterOfficial.com, big section on is the Barbell Club. We opened a premier fitness club in. It's technically Maple Park. Call it Lily Lake, Maple Park, St. Charles, Elburn. We're kind of right in the end and beginning of all those. Route 47 and Route 64 for those of you who are familiar with that area. Used to be a famous hot dog stand nearby. Unfortunately, no more hot dogs, but there is a gym right up the road. So great location. We got I would probably say the whole place is 2,000 square feet, Jacob. It's nothing crazy, nothing huge.
Yeah. Sounds right.
Gym's probably 1,400, and then we have an office and an upstairs cardio/massage room, and those are $350 each. I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. Right. 300-ish each. But yeah, so 24/7 gym, unmanned. Come and go as you please. We are getting close. I ran the numbers again last night. We are getting close to maxed out. I mean, not maxed out capacity, but me and Jacob went into this thinking, we're agreeing like, hey, let's just break even. Let's get rent paid. Oh. We have the equipment. Let's make a cool spot for us, our friends, new people in the area, like-minded people. It's kind of what we like getting together. And let's pay rent and let's pay the heat bill and some snow plowing. And we'll probably call it good. No AC in the gym. Kind of that old school feel, but it's clean. That's the way I kind of like to describe it. It's old school powerlifting, bodybuilding, but it's not dirty and things are leaking. And if things are broken, we get them fixed or we tell the landlord to fix them. Like we're on top of the shit in the gym because I don't want to. I lifted in smelly, stinky, cement floored gyms, and it just wasn't. I'm not doing it anymore. We're organized. Yep.
Plates are organized. Things are organized. We try to keep the attachments as organized as we can.
Yep.
But yeah, it's similar to me. Like I grew up, lifting in for sure. Like there was nothing like a Lifetime or something similar like that anywhere close to me. Still had a decent gym, but like I love the old school feel. I think there's just something about it that, especially for our generation, it's kind of what you got hooked on. Like all the old shoots, bodybuilding, powerlifting, they were all done in those kind of gyms. Dorian Gates down in Temple Gym, or Ronnie Coleman at Metroflex, or anyway, it's just where all that stuff. Even Pumping Iron, right? Like Gold's Gym back then was literally just like. It looks, I mean, not like our gym, but it kind of looks like our gym. It was just like some sort of empty warehouse in Santa Monica, and they had some weights in there. It's not anything like what it is now. So, yeah, I love that feel. And, we wanted people to, I think a good way to say it, we say this about anything that we do, is like, we're not for everybody, but we definitely are for somebody. And we're okay with that. I think you lose a lot of who you are. You lose a lot of what your value is, like what you really bring when you try to be for everyone, I think you're better off saying, hey, like this is who we are. And for sure, we can be a little bit flexible on that, but pretty much this is what we want. And then we attract those kind of people, and then the vibe is just right. Like I haven't been there yet, and there hasn't been a good vibe there. Doesn't matter who's in there.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, it's funny, like, cause it's kind of like when we're kind of cut and dry, like this is kind of what you get. I mean, we're flexible, like you said. We accommodate as much as we can for our members, but at the end of the day, it's mine and Jacob's gym. So if we don't like something, like it's just not going to happen. But no, the gym's been great, attracted great people, like-minded people. I was kind of worried there's gonna be more of a vetting process with it, and there really hasn't been. And it's funny, people are asking us, like, and Jacob got this question, I did for sure, like, New Year's, you're going to promote the gym and get more people in? And I'm like, no. Like,
Nope.
I don't want to be a dick, but it's like, if you're new to the fitness space, for sure, come check us out. Absolutely. A lot of people are more advanced in the lifting space, but nobody shies away from helping anybody. Nobody looks down on everybody. I always say my hundreds and your 100% are no different. But if some people might shy or might lean towards more of like your Anytime Fitnesses, the more clubs, the little bit less intimidating, probably. We probably get a little bit on the intimidation stuff just with the old school look and feel and the equipment. And we look like we work out. So that either attracts people or deters people.
Right.
But yeah, we're not going to promote. We do word of mouth. We do location. We, plug some stuff on here and on the other podcast and through Instagram and just saying we're there. But we haven't paid for one penny of advertising. We haven't really needed to. We've hosted some events to get some more eyes in the place. But other than that, it's like, tell your friends, bring one in for free one time, check it out. You like it? Cool. Sign up. If not, all good. There's like 10 spots left. We don't push people. We don't sell anything to people. You like it? Cool. I met with the guy Sunday. Check out the gym. I haven't even reached back out. I'm like, you saw the gym. Either you like it or you don't. If not, no big deal. 5-10 more members and we're done anyway. So I'm like, it's just, we're at a point where we are profitable based on the kids training and stuff like that. We said, like I said before, break even just with gym memberships and nothing else.
Yeah.
And we're right there. We're profitable in the training aspect immediately. But it's just like, yeah, I'm not concerned. Jacob hasn't brought any concerns to me. We're like, yeah, we're good, and that 50-60 number that we're searching for, like, we'll probably get to it within 3 to 6 months and then we'll be fine. And then we'll just cruise along.
Yeah. Well, and again, the goal was, for those who haven't followed along or don't know the story, because I think, sometimes we make the assumption that everybody just knows because we talk about it so much,
right?
And we talk about it with our friends so much, but maybe, depending on what channel or how you engage or participate with us, you may or may not know, but Tom had a 4-car garage. It was just a gym and just loaded to the gills. And then I had basically a 2-car garage at my mom's kind of outbuilding that I had loaded as much as I could load it because I didn't have to get everything because Tom had a lot of stuff. And we literally signed the lease on, was it a Saturday? What day did we sign it? Sunday? It was a weekend.
Saturday? It was like a Saturday or a Sunday in May.
And I think by Monday night, we had everything in the gym. Because I remember the landlord came by and was like, shit, you guys ain't playing around. We were like, yeah, well, we already had everything. We had the flooring, we had the turf, the horse stall mats.
Yeah, we had everything. It just had to be moved. It was only 2 miles away.
Yeah, we had 54 45-pound plates between the two of us. I'll never forget that because it's just the inverse of 45. Right.
Yeah,
we probably had 18 bars, something like that between us. I mean, the only thing we had to go out and buy was like an actual dumbbell set because you and I kind of had those Havoc dumbbells that are adjustable. You had kind of things you like to use, but we didn't have like a 5, 10, 15, all the way up. So we had to get that because you do need that in the gym. But other than that, every single thing in there that we started with, we literally had in our houses. And like, there's all this stuff online about home gyms, and it's like, holy shit, like we created a mega home gym. It's like The Office when they create mega desks.
Yeah,
like,
bingo.
We created a mega home gym.
Yeah, no, we were. I mean, I wouldn't call it even lucky. Like I've been building my collection, call it, since I was a kid. From my parents' basement, I moved all that shit, whether I used it or not, to every garage that I made sure I had when I moved out. Like it just always went with me. And then the bigger the garage, the more the equipment came. And then, now we're to a place where we could fill up an entire gym. And honestly, we didn't use everything. We had to take stuff out when Jacob got the belt squat. We had to move stuff around. We had to put some stuff
Yep.
at his mom's place. I still have a rack and dumbbells and a pull down at my place. Like, still have stuff left over.
I still have a rack. I still have a rack in my place too.
Incline bench
Yeah,
still
in my
there.
garage. Yeah, there's an
So,
incline. I have a power rack. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even get through everything, but goodness gracious, what one hell of a home gym.
yeah, best home gym ever. But yeah, I mean, and I move. Jacob knows this from working with me over the years. I move fast. I believe we signed it on a Saturday. I think I worked that weekend, cleaned it that Sunday. I just took a pressure washer, just cleaned the place out, and then Monday I happened to have off. Nobody really else had it off. That was my Saturday. It was my weird work schedule, and I'm like, nobody was home at my house. I'm like, what am I do? Sit around? Like, I know this has to be done. So I moved by myself for 6 hours, as much stuff as I could. Got kind of a layout of the place, got some shit in, and then Jacob, Wakely, Cam, we all shot up, got the heavier shit, the monos, the machine loaded equipment. And by Monday night, 2 days after we signed the lease, almost everything was there. I don't know if we made another trip to Jacob's house that night to get your stuff, but within a week, we did within 10 days from lease signing to being open. Like, I think equipment took us 2 days, but it was just the business stuff, the paperwork, the website, the credit card,
get insurance.
The insurance. It was kind of a little bit of a runaround for me on my end to get some insurance for the place. Like, the stuff we were waiting on basically other people for, that was kind of took us. And then we wanted to figure out the right way to do the credit cards. But other than that, like 10 days from nothing to a gym and it was cool because we had some friends there, like Taylor and Paul were one of our first members, and they're like basically knocking on the door to get in immediately. And I'm like, let me just get the insurance in place. We'll figure out the money later if you guys want to get in that bad. And then it's just been word of mouth ever since. Went from, me and you bought our first memberships, and then, 40, 50 people later, we just word of mouth, hey, you want to come train, and that kind of stuff. And then the kid thing kind of took off without us. Again, we didn't promote it. We're at a place now where like, yeah, we're good with 6 or 7 kids, and it's enough of our time. And really, I think we're making a good impact, especially on the kids, and then the, people training around, not to boost us too much, but people that know more than them. So it really just helps everybody become a little bit better.
Yeah, well, and we got to back up a little bit, because the part about that equipment story, and when we talk about moving in, so you're right, you were off that Monday, the way your schedule worked. I had to work until like, I don't know, 3 or 4, whatever I had to do that day. And, you had texted me at like 10, and you're like, hey, I'm going to start. And I'm like, Tom, like, dude, just wait. Like, it's heavy. The horse stall mats. If you've never moved a horse stall mat, like, that's one of the hardest workouts you'll do in your life. Just go pick up a horse stall mat and drag it 50 yards. It's absolutely terrible to do it. It destroys your grip. You get so frustrated. And then we had to power wash them and clean them all. Scrub them down with the mops, because we wanted everything to be as clean as possible going in. And so, Tom's like, I'll start doing that, and I'll start doing this. And so by the time I showed up, you had at least half the horse stall mats in, a good amount of equipment in by yourself, which I still don't know how you did it. But the worst part about it is you decided, you know what? Let me just do a 3-day fucking fast.
Oh, right in the dude, I forgot about that shit, dude.
Right in the middle of all of this, I'm going to do a 3-day fast, not like a protein and apple fast or a Daniel fast, like a literally water only for 3 days. And we moved equipment for 2 of them.
Yeah, I did forget about that. Yeah, because my wife was having some issues, and I'm like, want to try fasting? My brother Tim loves it. He braves about it. It says like you get it's good for whatever, cancer cells, all this stuff, a bunch of benefits to it, right? You can look them up yourself. But I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just do it with you. And then I don't know, with things with me, they move very fast. And I remember at the end of it, that like the end of the fast was the end of that Sunday, I think. And
no, I was like, you were still fasted on that Monday.
You're right. It was like Saturday, Sunday, Monday night.
Monday. You finished it Monday night or Tuesday morning.
Yeah. And I did like 72, and I think I ended up doing like 74, 75 hours because we were kind of late. And the only thing I wouldn't say I broke my fast. I think I had a beer with you guys at the end of it. So I was just like, and then I was like, dude, I'm hanging on by a fucking thread right now. Yeah. But it was good because I was so busy that I didn't think about eating, but I also didn't have any freaking energy. So it was like, it's kind of like which one's better, not thinking about eating or you're dead. So that sucked.
Well, like I know you well enough too. Like So when I showed up, like, you're in the middle of doing all this shit by yourself, which just sucks. Like, even though you chose it, it still sucks. It's
Yeah,
not
my
fun.
choice for
And
sure.
then like, but still, it's not fun. It doesn't mean it
No,
doesn't
no, it still
doesn't make it any
sucked. Yeah,
better.
it was
And
awful.
it still needed to be done. And like, of course, I was super grateful for that. But the second thing is like you're hungry as all get out because you're moving all this stuff right by yourself. Like, so I like you could just tell like in your head you're just like, and it wasn't to do with anybody or anything other than just.
Yeah, worst time to do it.
But
I mean, is there a good time to do it? No, but could there have been a better time? Yeah, maybe like Tuesday. Yeah, maybe. But
yeah. Just after we moved, like I don't know how many thousands of pounds of equipment in our freaking gym from your house and then my house, but it ended up being a good night. Like you said, Ken came out, Wakely came out. He brought us some Jack Daniels honey. We still have it in the gym.
yep.
Anybody ever needs a shot, it's up there. And yeah, we got that thing rolling. And the training is kind of interesting because we said it's something that we might do. We didn't necessarily start the gym to do it, but like you said, it kind of organically came up. You had some parents in your neighborhood who said, our kids are looking to train and we can't really find a good place that we trust, or everything's far. I mean, that's the funny thing about gym is some people think our gym's far, but for a lot of people it's close because
Right.
so many people have moved out our way. And Tom was like, well, let me talk to Jacob and let's see. And we just pieced it together. And for me, it's fun because we're training kids, athletes who have a goal, they have a purpose. Pretty much everybody that we train is pretty high level for their age. And I'd say way more dedicated than the average, 14, 13-year-old, whatever
Yeah,
age group they
right.
are. And it brings me back to like when I first came to Chicago. Like, yes, I trained pro athletes, but I've said it 1,000 times. Like pro athletes, in terms of the amount of training I did, was probably 10% because A, there's not that many of them, and B, they're working 9 months of the year. So
Right.
most of the people I trained were high school kids for sure, in terms of majority of time. So like I enjoy it. I enjoy working with those kids. I enjoy teaching them. I enjoy helping them learn the right way to do things because that's not something I got growing up. I mean, yes,
Yeah,
my
right,
dad told
right.
me form and things like that, but he didn't sit down and go over programming with me, or he just didn't know. He just knew what he just go in the gym and lift. So that's what I did. I went in the gym and lift. So, and then I enjoy seeing the progress. Like we have one kid who he's gained like almost 30, for sure, I think 20, almost 30 pounds since he started. He's hitting PRs almost every week. He's getting better at his sport. And you can just see the confidence like growing. And like, it's a really, really cool thing to say that you're a part of and that you help. Like it's real coaching. And again, I'm not saying that like with what we do on remote training is that either, because it is. The stuff we do online, we see clients all the time who hit a record. We rehab an injury. They
Yep.
do something they never thought they would do again. And like, that makes me just so fucking proud. It's the same thing in person with these kids, but with them, it's like any kid, like they're discovering it for the first time. Everybody we train online is an adult. They've been there before, and yes, we're hitting new stuff, and it's super cool. But for them, it's literally like Christmas morning when they
Mm-hmm.
squat 225 for the first
Yep.
time, or deadlift
Yep.
225. Like it's just, oh my gosh, like it just blows their mind. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, it like fires me up too, man. Seeing the kid, like I always talked about other like client PRs over your PRs. It's like the same thing with the kid when the kid's into it, and then they're getting excited. You're like, fuck, now I'm getting fucking fired up over here. It's like a little, you kind of feed off each other a little bit. I definitely do whenever I coach. But yeah, just kind of again something we didn't really plan, and it almost came. People approached us to do it, and now we're rolling, and we're like, again, we don't really need to promote this. I like making videos with the kids every once in a while just to show them off. But I'm like, yeah, we don't need 10 more. Like I don't have the
No,
time. So
no,
we got a really solid group of kids in there now. And yeah, it works out well with our schedules. So far we've had 0 hiccups, which is surprising with our terrible schedules.
it is pretty
But
impressive.
we're able to be flexible when the other person isn't. So yeah, it's working out really well, man. Really liking this
So
gym
yeah,
setup and the people.
well, and we've talked about it before, but for anybody listening that knows us, one of the things that is probably understated or undersold is like how well we work together because of who we are. And I'd say that's incredibly rare in business. Like it's crazy rare in business to find somebody that you match in terms of vision and goal, you match in terms of work ethic, but then the things that you do or that you like to do or that you're good at, are also kind of naturally click well with each other. And then we both have that gear of like, okay, if this just needs to get done, we're going to get it done, like whatever it is.
Yep.
And it's really rare in business to find that. And I think that's why we've even been, I mean, honestly, most gyms go under, I forget the stat. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but it was a crazy stat. It's like 80% of gyms go under in the first 3 years. Like it's crazy amount.
We got time.
And like
We got time to mess this up.
you got time to screw it up. Yeah. But no, like for us, like you said, we're almost to that point already where we're comfortable in terms of break even. Now, yes, we want to keep improving the gym and all that stuff, but like just in terms of the money side, which is unfortunately a real side of life, that has to make sense for us to do this, because we're paying money for it and we have to get that money back at some point. But the point is like for us to be so successful so quick, it has a lot, I think, to do with our partnership because we don't bitch and moan. We don't, I call it stepping over dollars to pick up pennies with each other. You know what I mean? Like we just figure it out. We work together and we're both more successful because of it. And I think you would agree that, at least I know I'd say it, like I texted you this the other day, like I for sure couldn't do it without you. There's no way. It'd have to be my only job. I couldn't do it like we do it now.
I agree. It would be, well, it'd be your only job or like we'd both be half as good at it.
Correct.
Yeah, it just is what it is. Like, could I start a gym? Yeah, maybe. But it's like, God, don't have someone in your corner or like we talked about it probably 5 times before we did this. Like, you sure you're in? You sure you're in? Everything cool? Like, we can wait. Fuck it. We'll wait a year. I don't give a shit, Jacob. Like, no, dude, we're in. Let's do this. So, and I think it also helps, like, again, a really weird but good relationship of like just the risk. The online business wasn't really a risk because pretty comfortable in what I do, but I still needed some hyping up from you in the beginning. And then you were comfortable what you did. We both brought different things to the table. And then like this it didn't even feel like a risk to me. It was like, yeah, okay. Worst case scenario, we have a really expensive gym membership, but I get my garage back. I'm sure we'll get some money. Like we'll get some, like, even if we have to buy a gym membership every month, we'll be fine. Like, so like the risk it is a risk, brick and mortar, right? It's my first brick and mortar. It's your first brick and mortar. Now it's like we try to do a little bit more stuff with the community, being part of Chamber of Commerce and stuff that I wouldn't really think of, but my wife did. And host car shows, and we like plan on doing like charity events and just stuff like that to kind of help put back into the community because just being where we're at, we just get a lot of help. I wouldn't say help from me, but support from the community rather, just by word of mouth and people kind of getting to know Jacob being 7 minutes from the gym and Tom being 2 minutes. So it is kind of our area. But yeah, having the risk of the brick and mortar, it's a risk, but I always say a very calculated one. And that's what we took. But it didn't feel like, oh shit, I hope this works out. It's like, there's part of me like, maybe nobody will sign up, but I guess we'll just eat it for 3 years till the lease is over and go back to our garages. Like, worst case scenario, we fail. At least we fucking tried to open a gym.
Well, and again, it speaks back to the strength of the partnership because you've been in that community for a very long time. I'm newer to it, since basically 2021. And, it's like, okay, like you already had some people who wanted to go. I had a couple people that wanted to go, but, I've ran a gym before, right? I've worked in a gym before. I know you have a long time ago, but like, there's just things that we're able to bring to each other that really made it, I think, a lot smoother of a transition. And again, it just a lot of, like you said, the risk, we mitigated it by leaning on expertise, leaning on network, leaning on connections, and allowed us to open it. And I think, I was thinking about this for some reason this week. Like, I'm excited for it to warm back up again because I'd love to get a couple things on the calendar for the community. Whether I don't even know what it is, but I listen to those dang Massonomics guys sometimes, and they have built such an incredible community. It's awesome. And like when they have their meetups, like it just seems like it's like the best time ever. It's like, man, we got to do something like that for sure.
Yeah, no, the summer's the best because I'm a big garage door open guy. I even thought about it the other day when it was like 45. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna make everybody else in this gym cold because I like the doors open. But yeah, the summers, are way better for us. And we didn't get a late start to summer, but we were figuring a lot of things out in the first month or two. We were able to host a car show, which is fun for me because both of us, we like cars. I had a cool car I could actually show off for once in a long time. So yeah, we're looking forward to a lot more events. We just do shit around the community for the community, sponsor stuff. We've always been pretty generous with that with the company. Anytime anybody reaches out, we've never said no. But looking forward to that, like just directly in our 10-mile radius. So
yeah, for sure. Well, if you're in the area, if you're planning on visiting the area, hit us up, come check us out. I will say, we didn't even get into a lot of the equipment, but I would say we're probably the best equipped gym. The next gym that I could think of that would be in our range of equipment. I'm talking, strength equipment specifically. Obviously, you can we could, you know, kind of talk all day about types of equipment. But for like real strength training, the next one's probably what, Surge?
Yeah, Surge, way bigger facility, obviously more strongman. He's got boxing, he's got powerlifting, but as far as like the quality of good equipment to strength train on, to power lift, to stuff like that, yeah, I would probably say Surge is the closest, just because of the monolift, the belt squat, the different types of bars, the amount of 45s, right? You need a lot of those when you're a powerlifter. Yeah, it's just
Mars bar, safety squat bar, giant camber bar, buffalo
bamboo
bar,
bars,
bamboo bar. I
multi-grip
mean,
bars. Yeah, you name it, we
everything
pretty
you can
much
think
have it.
of, we got it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, as far as quality, you know, quantity is something we're not in excess of. We have a smaller spot, but that's why it works for us, and it's a good stepping stone. And even I even got asked too, like a month ago, like, man, if this, you can make this bigger, get more kids, get more trainers, get more members. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want that. Like, big is cool, biggest problems, small
Well,
gym, small problems,
I'll never forget Paul Gomez, who helped start Hurley, the clothing brand. He always told me, like, my dream became my reality. And he doesn't mean that in a way that's ungrateful, but he means that in a way that, like, yeah, it's super cool to think, well, what if we have a facility that was 5 times that size? And what if we had 7 trainers who worked with us and we coached, 200 kids? And like, yeah, it sounds cool, and it would be cool, but it's also there's a reality to that. And with that reality comes responsibility. It comes a lot of things that, again, it's all blessing, right? Like, it's all a blessing when you're able to be in that position, but it doesn't mean it's easy, and it doesn't mean it's not work. Like, you don't wake up every day just, let me just walk into my massive gym and everything's perfect. Like, the headaches that we deal with now, and we do deal with them occasionally, it's 5x, it's 10x. Like, all your problems become a serious reality. So anyway, yeah, I'm really happy with where we are, and we may or may not. I mean, if you would ask us 3 years ago if we'd have a gym, we'd say, I don't know. So maybe in 3 years we'll be like, yeah, we want something bigger. But pretty happy with where we are now, for sure.
And that was something we talked about when we first got together after like probably about a year in business. Like, man, maybe one day we'll do a gym. Like, it was definitely not like a surprise for us. I think the quickness was a surprise because I looked at the place on a Thursday and we signed a lease on a Saturday. But as far as like being on the radar, it was always kind of in the back of our heads, like, oh, maybe one day we'll open the gym. The timing's right. We ended up moving close to each other, drove by a place that was open. Yeah, that'll work. And the rest is history. So
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we were going to actually get into a little more bodybuilding stuff and stuff with my training and Jacob's training, but we are bumping up against time. We have another podcast to do. Let's Get Stupid podcast looks like Finn's running a little late, but we can get that rolling here soon. Appreciate you guys listening. Jacob, I'm probably send this out to all the members. Kind of give a nice little insight of how the gym started, who they're kind of supporting. I mean, obviously they all of them know us, but it is not everybody knows how we kind of came together, because you do get in those trick bags where you think you've talked about it 10 times so everybody knows, but 50% of the people have no idea what you're even talking about. So I hope this kind of brings a little more light to like our little gym and our community that we're building. And I hope if you're in the Northern Illinois area, specifically St. Charles, that area, you'll come by, check us out, grab a day pass, support us, buy a shirt, whatever it may be. Yeah, it's just a great gym, great place. And I don't know, feels like home to me. So.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And I'd say every day and every week, it feels more and more like that. And, I'm to the place now where it's like Cheers. Every time you walk in, like, everybody knows your name and I know their name. And, it's a really unique thing. And I don't ever want to look past that, because it's pretty cool. And again, for two guys who grew up, basically both on farms, basically both lifting, because we were just inspired to lift for a variety of reasons. Like, to have your own gym is like, I don't want to say it's the best thing you can like do or feel, but it's pretty fucking cool. So I'm really grateful for it. Yeah.
It doesn't suck. That's for sure.
And grateful for, gosh, like you said, I'm so grateful for everyone who supports, because I would say that's the scariest thing is, in today's world, there's so many things that you can outsource, right? You can buy big, you can shop big, you can go big, in terms of like larger corporations and businesses. So I'm not necessarily against any of that, but I do think there's room for us too. And I think it's nice to feel that support, and nice to feel that what we believe in, other people believe in as well. And people actually putting their money where their mouth is, right? A lot of people will hype you up and say, oh, sounds great, da, 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 but how many people are like actually really supporting? Because again, it's like, you understand, like, this is a bill we have to pay. It's like a mortgage. Like, we got to pay it. There's no choice on that. And so, you know, for us to take that risk and for people to say, hey, we believe in what you're doing and supporting, like, it's the best feeling in the world. So super grateful.
Yep, us too. So if you guys haven't, again, check us out, BeBetterOfficial.com. Check out the gym. Check out the barbell shirts we got that help support the gym. If you're going to come train, put on your own music, buy something from the fridge. I hope you guys like the place. If you're able to check it out, we're happy to have anybody anytime because it's 365. That's the best thing about that place. It doesn't shut down. And most of the members, real quick, most of the members, typically there's 1 to 2 at a time training, maybe. Like that's what the best thing about it is too, is like you don't have a ton of people. We didn't want the crowds. We didn't want the BS. We didn't want to wait for a bench. And that's, again, another additive of what we've built so far is a lot of people train by themselves, listen to their own music, do their own thing, lift for an hour, and then they get out. So pretty cool place. We like it. That's why we built it. No BS, just training, no drama, just working out and getting better. Thank you guys 100%. For listening. Hopefully, we're going to keep pumping these out as much as we can. We still got more to talk about. Jacob becoming 300 pounds soon, and me with my bodybuilding journey about coming up to 100 pounds under Jacob. So we'll touch that a little bit more next episode because we have another podcast to do over on our different channel. So if you haven't checked out Let's Get Stupid as well, a little bit of a change up on topics and wear a little bit of a different hat on that show, but it's a good time. It's fun. It's like bar talk with good friends. So check out Let's Get Stupid on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Also, tell your friends about the gym. Tell your friends about the show. Thanks, guys.